Okay, first thing, after looking through this problem, it's got a lot of information. So, very first thing to be doing is trying to sort out, okay, we have Lamar, we have Lawrence, and I listed what their means, their standard deviations are, and that the goal is for them to finish within 5 minutes of each other. So, one can finish 5 minutes quicker and one can finish 5 minutes slower. A couple things that we need is the difference between the two. And so I'm going to start with the combined mean. It doesn't matter which one I do first. I'm going to just do Lamar minus Lawrence to figure out my combined mean, or well, the difference between them. And I'm also going to figure out what the standard deviation is, the new standard deviation. And keep in mind, we always add the standard deviations to figure out what these standard deviation, the new standard deviation will be. So I'm getting 100 and 225. Which gets me 325 as my new standard deviation. And if I square root 325, it gives me about 18.0278 is my new standard deviation for Lamar minus Lawrence. So that's starting point number one. Starting point number two is basically trying to figure out the z-scores. So when we think about these two numbers, we're thinking about, okay, trying to figure out our z-score if they finish where, let's say, Lamar goes finishes 5 minutes quicker. So let's say the difference between the two is 5. And we know our mean was 7. And our standard deviation was 18.0278. And we're going to figure out what that z-score is for that. And also, we're going to figure out the opposite. Let's say Lawrence finishes first. And the difference between the two would be -5. It's still the same mean and the same standard deviation. And the goal is we're just going to find the probability between these two z-scores. So hopefully that gives you a little hint as to how to figure out the last problem on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game. Part of me just says, let's just finish it here. So for this one, I got like around -0.11. And for this one, I got like -0.665, -0.66564, something like that. Now, again, if we would have done Lawrence minus Lamar, these numbers kind of would be backwards. And then, therefore, they would both be positive. But the difference between the probabilities is going to be the same. Between 0.665 and 0.11, and between -0.665 and -0.11. So let's look up those probabilities on the chart. And I do believe I got a chart already ready to go. So -11 is around here. And -0.665 could be like -0.67. I'm thinking right around there. And so if we do some subtraction between the two, 0.4562 minus 2514. Our final answer should be around 0.2048. Around there.